Watching Jurassic World Dominion is an exercise in masochism. Maybe I'm more than just a cynic, maybe I'm a nihilist who loves hurting himself. What else can possibly explain me attending a movie I knew deep down was going to be, Jeff, what do you call it?
One big pile of shit.
That's right. If the Uncharted movie was the perfect example of what's wrong with modern cinema, it just got one-upped by this shit show. It's another legacy sequel that thinks the audience hasn't grown tired of nostalgia bait yet. Up until now, the Jurassic World movies hadn't bothered with the original cast in any significant way, besides Goldblum bookending the last one with some inane speeches. But people hated that movie so much, they had to give them a reason to see this one. Solution? More of these.
Hey, remember Jurassic Park? Oh, you love Jurassic Park. Remember Jeff Goldblum? Oh, I remember Jeff Goldblum. He was fantastic. I love Jeff Goldblum. Remember?
But we just get an inconsequential film that hasn't forgotten what made the original special so much as completely conceding that it can never recapture it. Maybe I can give it some credit for that at least. Everything about this film feels like a fucking cartoon, because it's gotten so outlandish, and that's saying something for a franchise about dinosaurs being brought back to life. It was already an unquestionable cash grab, because no sane person would argue that there was more story left to tell when it came to this franchise after the first movie ended. Money definitely talks, because instead of stopping there, we've gotten 5 more of these fucking things. This franchise has officially been milked dry. The plot of this movie's dumb as fuck, and you nor I should expect any less. Dinosaurs now live among us, and some engineering corporation named Biosin has a contract to house them, or some shit. I don't know, it's vague. It's basically, hey, this is the bad entity of the film. The company's owned and operated by an actor who looks terrifyingly close to the real-life CEO of Apple, Tim Cook. So I'm just going to call him that because I'll never believe it's just a coincidence. He's a man whose hubris has gotten the better of him, and unlike John Hammond in the original, who had some nuance to his character and you could even sympathize with him a little bit despite his actions.
This place, I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion.
Tim Cook is just a straight-up two-dimensional blah fest of an antagonist. Anyway, the plot carries on with some piss-poor attempt at an anti-capitalist political slant, with Biosin being responsible for a species of locusts who are eating all the crops across the world except for ones using Biosin seeds, which will eventually lead to a global famine, and it's up to our heroes to save the day. Yep, that's right guys. We've gotten so far from the original Jurassic Park where we just wanted to see the main cast escape from dinosaurs, that they're now saving the fucking world. The dinosaurs, also known as the main reason anyone goes to these fucking things, are essentially bystanders, practically inconsequential to the main plot. Anything to do with them in this movie just feels tacked on. Like how it felt in the Walking Dead TV series after a while. By the 18,000th season, zombies would just pop up once per episode. Not because they were part of the plot anymore, but more because the show was called The fucking Walking Dead, so they had to. Biosin basically represents all that's unholy with mega corporations in our real world, from Tesla to Apple and obviously Monsanto, and the plot requires your complete surrender and suspending your disbelief in order to keep you from walking out of the theater. It's so insane to think no one else on Earth besides our lead characters would recognize what's going on, and it's up to them and them alone to save the world. You have to actively decide to shut your brain off once the plot gets set up. I'm all for films pushing real-world ideas, especially ones I agree with. I mean, if anyone thinks Monsanto is positive for this world, you're out of your fucking mind. But like anything, it always comes down to execution. While the first film had Jeff Goldblum's Ian Malcolm represent the anti-capitalist in the room,
Before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
this movie just goes full on-the-nose dumbass with it, bludgeoning you over the head with a corporations are bad idea with zero tact or grace whatsoever, something the lunchbox scene in the original Jurassic Park did so well. Like any good Jurassic Park movie, you need the big bad for a dinosaur, and this time it's the Giganotosaurus. And sure as the day is long, she's gonna end up fighting the fucking T-Rex. And don't worry about Rexy's safety, she has backup and plenty of plot armor. But like I said, the dinosaurs are so tacked on and simply not the focal point whatsoever of this movie, so everything about the newest dino, and well, anything to do with the dinos feels like an afterthought, just something completely inconsequential. I mean, it's gotten so far from the plot of the first movie that they have dinosaurs they're trying to make into fucking characters. Blue, while cool, is still goofy as fucking concept, but that's what happens when you make 5 sequels to a movie that didn't even need one. Yes, seeing the original cast back is nice, but they don't add anything to the story, really. Everything they do, Star-Lord and Gwen Stacy could have done. Jeff Goldblum is at his Jeff Goldblumiest, and the older he gets, I guess the more we need to treasure him, whether he's suited for the role again or not. His Ian Malcolm in this film feels nothing like the Malcolm we were left with at the end of Lost World. He's sort of just playing a caricature of himself at this point, but whatever. We all love him. The film also tries for some callbacks that completely fall flat, but again, what else should we expect?
What's your story? I'm totally unappreciated in my time.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Dennis. When I was watching this, I was sitting next to a family of 4, and about 3/4 of the way through, one of the kids turned to me and he yells, "This movie's awesome." And I laughed because it was so fucking adorable, but it also made me realize I wasn't the audience for this movie anymore. And that's all well and good, but I kind of felt bad that this kid would never know how great the original was compared to what we're watching on the big screen right in front of us. So in a way, I think him and I might both be right. This movie is fucking awesome. For kids. Just like the original was fucking awesome when I was a kid. And for everyone else, it's a mindless cash grab. But I'll say, at least our mindless cash grab in the 90s had some heart and decent filmmaking behind it. Till next time.
JJ's online.